we're halfway through this very innovative session. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it's about, Lindsay, please?
Well, controlled environment farming is attracting a huge amount of attention. And so this is a really good opportunity to bring together all of those people who are pretty active in this really exciting area and give them a platform and let those who are perhaps at a different level of interest get have a peek, get a picture of where this technology is and what its potential is, where it can go.
Well done, Lindsay, and congratulations to Belinda, as you said in the opening address, because it's a packed audience. But is this fool's gold? Is this sector of vertical farming fool's gold, Belinda?
Well, that's what we really wanted to unpack in this event, because there's been a lot of talk about this kind of technology for a long time, and what we wanted to look at was not just the technology but the economics, the bottlenecks. Why hasn't it become mainstream? And what we've been hearing today is that there are a number of challenges, but there are a number of challenges that are being overcome, partly by technology, partly by new ways and new approaches, and by collaboration. So I don't think it is fool's gold, but it's certainly not for the faint-hearted.
It is the future, but as you say, not for the faint-hearted. Lindsay, Belinda, thank you. The two best speakers this morning were you two, in really different manners.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So let's just have a bit of potted history. David, go first.
So, trained at Reading, did a degree in horticulture, 5 years, well actually 4 years, 51 weeks in ADAS.
51 weeks, carry on.
Yeah, important. Then moved to Tesco, spent 22 years at Tesco, lots of different roles, running the QA team, consumer team, protected crops, bagged salads, and then half of my time for Lincoln, half the time consultant, helping some startups.
Okay, and a really interesting talk from yourself about this vertical farming sector, protected crop sector, where it's going. Paul, background on you, please.
I'm trying to think after quite a heavy morning. So, University of London, did my first degree, worked for ADAS from 1983, worked in different places across the country, ended up on Jersey, came back to the UK, built the largest glasshouse in the UK and ran it for X number of years at Wrongton, and went to technical, then went to Nature's Way, and then after that White Salmon's technical director for a while. Don't tell Ian because he thought he was. And then set up my own consultancy in 2011 and did a lot of interesting work then, significantly a lot more R&D. And after that met up with James Lloyd-Jones, my co-founder of Jones Food Company.
Is this fool's gold that everyone is piling into in this sector, or is it sustainable? Is it going to be here for the long term? Because your presentation indicated that it's here for the long term. David, you made this really good point about agricultural values of land in comparison to urban land, and actually it might not stack up if you think you can do vertical farming in central London. So where are we going with this?
I think it's a different proposition, and I think that's the point I was trying to make, is what value add are you putting in? Paul's clearly got a value add for his customer, which allows them to do things processed differently, which is why you can justify the expenditure. I think if you just think you're going to go and sell microgreens, I think you're going to find that there's not that many microgreens you can sell economically, but it's how can you add value, and I think that's the interesting bit that Paul's managed to get a customer who is willing, I'm assuming, to pay for that additional added value without getting you drawn on the economics.
Okay, so on that side, how do you expand your model? Because your first unit is you've sort of bootstrapped it and you've recycled all the old racking because it was an old freezer unit. Are there other units like that in the country that you can deploy, or are you going to have to actually build new sites, virgin sites?
I think there's a place for both approaches, so we can use existing buildings and adapt them, but there may be other economic advantages for building to order, really.
Right, okay.
So in my opinion, there's plenty more crops we can grow in these systems, not just the microgreens and the baby leaf.
Such as?
Plenty of other things we can look at to cater for requirements in the medicinal field. Pharmaceuticals, plants for cosmetics, anything that the country might need going forward that it cannot get at any particular time for whatever reason.
Okay, because we keep on coming up with this stat that 80% of all salad production is imported in, so there would look to be a great potential for innovators like yourselves to start growing.
But what's behind, in my opinion, is that the breeding is slightly away from the actual production. So I would like to see more programs, and I'm sure they exist, on crops that are being grown to be produced in smaller spaces.
Okay.
Not necessarily the spaces we've got, but to take the whole crop cycle through in that controlled environment.
So are you saying varieties which are better at converting light, or which are or shorter in terms
dwarf in stature?
So I think if you're in the baby leaf world, which I've been working in over the last 18 months, one of your challenges is microbial load. So which is what clearly Paul's addressing, how do you keep them clean? And therefore you're taking other costs out. I think that has an opportunity. I think it's hard to see how very small companies can exploit that market when the buyers of those commodities are big companies. And I think so that's a question. And I think some of the big companies who are in that market will look to get into a controlled environment agriculture market. So I think there's going to be some interesting developments, and the fact that Agri-Al have just bought a company last week may indicate that they want to look at those areas.
Okay.
Not that I have any inside knowledge.
Okay. So the future is bright, but with challenges.
Other huge set of challenges, but I think we have a lot of answers from the past that can be adapted for these techniques going forward.
Agree, David?
I agree. If you get your business model right and you can demonstrate where you add value, there is always an opportunity, and it's how you learn to add value.
Okay, so it's add value. How do we add value in this revolution of agriculture? Add value. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. So Robert, pleasure to be with you here today. You and your business are a key sponsor. Why are you a key sponsor of this event today?
We're looking at agriculture and food production. We see agriculture as an important thing for the UK economy, and we're here to learn about the industry, the technology that's coming up, and what could be happening in the future.
Can you just tell everyone a bit about yourself and what you do, please?
Okay, so I've been involved in commercialisation of technology primarily in the ag sector since the 80s.
Yep.
I was involved in running Shell's ag chem business in the UK. Recognised in '88 I was unemployable, and I set up my own business ever since. But on the investment side, I've helped set up Cambridge Agri-Tech, which is a syndicate of private investors who are the largest landowners in the UK, as well as being chairman of a new VC fund based in Paris called 5 Seasons. Do the companies themselves have something genuinely disruptive, whereby...
Disruptive, so you were majoring on this one. Carry on, sorry.
Disruptive, by that I mean that it is unique, it's not just a copycat of something else, it has some IP or intellectual property or some other way of preventing others copying what you're doing. And by disruptive, what I mean there is it really does meet a market need for which there is evidence that people really want to buy it. So I have several simple questions that I have to all these companies when they present their business plan is who's going to buy it, when and what for?
Okay. Because I suppose that's it. You must get inundated with people who have a great idea and it's very honourable, but actually commercially it doesn't work.
Yeah. So I stick to criteria. Okay. So because it saves time on the part of the entrepreneur, it saves our time. So I've been called Dr. Death sometimes because I make very quick decisions, but I actually love innovation.
So you're looking for disruptive entrepreneurs in the agri-tech food sector. That could be of interest to you and your partners.
In Europe.
Okay. You heard it here.
Cambridge Agri-Tech in the UK.
Excellent. Rob, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
How did you get so many people of this sort of calibre on stage?
I just rang them up.
Don't be modest.
No.
Okay, but are you pleased? Are you pleased?
Really, really pleased. I mean, we've been overflowing with delegates. Look, the conference finished 10 minutes ago, and we've still got as many people still here as were in the auditorium. So really happy, and thanks for coming.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.